Hi, how you doing? Today, let's talk about Mars. Mars represents our energy and how we take action. It's our desires and how we express our anger, our aggression, and our need for survival. Mars also represents our sexual desires, but this is in conjunction with Venus, which is more a representation of our romantic desires, where Mars is more about the physical desires. Mars is our self assertion, but it differs from the sun by being our literal physical energy as opposed to our creative energy and our willpower. When Mars is expressed positively, you will see yourself being more assertive, directed, and forthright. But when it's expressed negatively, that's when you will see people being more impulsive, impatient, and aggressive. The sign of Mars shows our basic sexual nature and how we express our anger, what makes us angry, and our first instinct to act. The house of Mars shows the area of our life where we are driven and we express our enthusiasm. And the planet's Mars aspects in our chart can represent the kinds of experience we seek out in life. You see, Mars is very much what governs our animalistic natures, the need for physical survival. It's actually quite connected to our root chakra in that way, and that has always been very fascinating to me, as the red planet shares so many themes with the red chakra. But anyways, much like how Venus represents our feminine qualities, Mars is our masculine qualities. And just like I mentioned in my Venus video, just because these two planets have a lot of gender associations with them, like their signs in an astrology chart are literally the symbols for female and male, that doesn't mean that you only receive the qualities from the planet that matches your gender. um, Male aligned people may have an easier time accessing their Mars energies as opposed to their Venus energies. Female aligned people may be more prone to projecting their Martian qualities onto their partners as opposed to expressing them directly. But everybody does share these qualities. It doesn't matter what gender you are or what gender you identify with, or if you don't identify with any genders. Everybody has both Venus and Mars qualities within them. Aries is the first sign ruled by Mars, and it expresses its qualities through a cardinal fire signature. And like the ram that symbolizes it, Aries approaches life very directly and head on. They are active and energetic and they take the initiative. They are extremely direct and straightforward and uncomplicated. And they expect everyone else to be too. They don't like these mind games. They say what they mean what they say. And when other people don't do that, it kind of baffles them a little bit. They're naturally athletic, very energetic. They typically don't like to be in long, drawn out emotional moments, and they also don't really plan ahead. They're all about thinking and acting in the moment. They live for right now. They love starting new projects, and they hate standing still for too long. Their biggest weaknesses is impatience, but their greatest strength is innovation. They are brave and bold and very independent, and their love of new beginnings is very fascinating because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It represents new beginnings in that, and also its placement in the zodiac represents the start of a new day, which is how we determine our first house, which is the house that is associated with Aries and Mars. And how we find our first house is it is the eastern horizon at the moment we are born. And that represents a sunrise, the start of a new day, the start of a new life. The first house um, represents our physical body and our outward appearance and the initial way we represent ourselves to the world. It also reflects our self awareness. And alongside our sun and moon, our ascendant, which is the cusp of the first house, makes up the big three signs of our chart. The most common ones people want to discuss and talk about because they make up the biggest parts of our personality. They all kind of fit together to form the picture that is you. The ways in which we project ourselves to the world can include things like our physical body, our physical appearance. It's our gait, our mannerisms, our kind of trademark things that we do, just the way that we interact with the world, the things that other people will always pick up and notice first about us. More specifically, the first house rules our head and our face. It can also represent how we react to starting something new, our instinctive approach to new situations, how we react to new situations, and our early environment plays a large role in shaping these aspects, which emphasizes the importance of self-reflection and awareness, because a lot of the characteristics that are in our first house are automatic. There are things that we don't really think about. The signs and the associated planets of those signs that are in the first house, as well as the placements within the first house itself, help define our sense of independence and individuality and our personalities. And it's very interesting. An excellent example of this is my son, who is he has a Sagittarius ascendant, but he has Mars in the first house. And I swear to God, this child is just nothing but boundless energy. He's been doing handless front flips off of my couch since he was 2 years old. No joke. This kid is just all go go go. He's aggressive, he's assertive, he's loud, he's energetic. He has all of those Martian qualities within his first house. And what first house planets do you have? Do you have any first house planets? You can also see where if you have a sign on your first house and how that would depict your physical appearance, you can see that the planets that are in your first house can also have an effect on your physical appearance as well. Speak of the devil, look who it is. Hi there, little guy.
Hello, Daddy.
Do you want to tell everybody about how you have Mars in the first house?
No.
Well, that's his Aquarius sun talking. But there you go. This is my little guy who I talk about all the time. So that about covers it for Mars, Aries, and the first house. Mars is actually very interesting because of all the videos I've done in this little collection where we cover planets and the signs and houses associated with them. Mars is the first one that actually shares a sign with another planet, and that's Pluto and Scorpio. And I went back and forth on if I should cover Scorpio in this video or not. But I decided I will save that and I will discuss it in the Pluto video, and I will just cover the Mars influences on Scorpio then. But that's an important thing to keep in mind, that Mars is associated with Scorpio. It's the original ruler of Scorpio, but we will get to that soon. And since I'm going in order of the planets from their proximity to the sun, that actually means that Scorpio will probably be the last sign I cover in this specific collection. But that covers it for now. I hope you all have a wonderful day. If you want to book a reading with me, please do so at www.dhastrology.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Be sure to tell me about your first house in the comments below. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I'm going to go finish playing with my Mars first house sun. Love you guys. Have a good one.